Today we have a Z4 coming for stage 1. The car is completely stock. We installed the can-end drop-in filter with flashing stage 2 XHP transmission. I got an error, bootloader was not present on server, so most probably we'll have to bench this ECU instead of OBD. Before we tune the car, we make sure that the car is running properly. We take it for a log, third gear, 2K RPM pull until red line. We check if everything is okay. Then we flash our base file. Then we lock again. We make sure how the car is adapting to the tune. We do adjustments accordingly. Lambda is 0.98, almost 1. Okay, you can see this is where I'm losing traction. You can see throttle closing, and we're making 1 bar of boost on stock, 0 misfires on all 6 cylinders. Okay, this is where you can see that my foot on the pedal, it was 100%, even though throttle was closing because of traction, because it's a bit wet outside. We can flash the file when Michael is done with it, and we can go for another log.
Right, the log was perfect. What was the boost?
1.6.
Must be quick.
Yeah, it is.
Guess who's back?
Back again. AJ's back.
How are you doing?
Okay, so I flashed the first file. It was straight on perfect from the first file. I did the log, 1.6 boost, throttle all the way open, Lambda 0.8. He's willing to go stage 2 later on. I already explained to him that you get the most gains when you go from stock to stage 1. But for stage 2...
You'll get more sound.
Yeah, true.
A little extra power, but actually, I mean, we could play with timing there. If you want to chase numbers, yes.
When I show him the log, I show them that on stock, there's a throttle closure before losing traction. He told me that he used to feel that. He used to feel that the car is cutting boost a bit.
On this ECU, normally you don't feel it.
Yeah. But he was happy that on stage 1, the throttle is fully open.
Lucky we worked on that Supra and the other Z4 in Bangkok, because that's how I got all this knowledge.
Yep. This is an M5 F10, has a downpipe, has our stage 2 tune. He recently changed his injectors and low pressure fuel pump. So whenever the car is cold, when he starts the car, he's having a weird sound. So we're just doing a scan to see if there's any codes, and we might do a data log to check how the engine is running. Let's see. Actually, there's nothing PDC, headlights, nothing major actually.
The car is pre-tuned?
Yeah, it's pre-tuned.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pre-tuned. It's pre-tuned. And he just doesn't really give a shit that the car dies every now and then.
Me and you would get along really well.
Okay, so this car has like literally everything.
Oh my God.
Literally everything. You see the intake there. It looks pretty dope though.
That's a aftermarket lifter as well. Holy shit!
Yeah. Fap speed.
This must sound pretty insane.
Nice.
Yeah?
Sounds really good. So he's literally got everything there. Everything's there. Do you have no plenum though, right? No IPD plenum or anything? No larger throttle body from the GT3? No. He doesn't have everything. Yeah. That's the next thing.
Not yet.
Not yet. So exhaust with headers and misaligned exhaust tips. Exhaust system, is it custom? It looks custom.
Fully custom.
Okay, let's get to it.
How many horsepower to the turbo? I think this is negative. 650 wheel, probably 400 wheel, no idea, because the car dies. 270 wheel. Guess who's back? Oh my God, this is, oh, it's a heat shield, huh?
Why you shipping?
Because this is gonna help. It's called physics. Actually, this will help keep the heat in. Bro, I feel like you failed physics class, bro. Just like I did, yeah. It's helping keep the heat inside the box. Because it's metal, bro.
I know it's on.
Yeah. I feel like something inside your engine is burning. Right? Can you smell it?
I can smell something.
It's like...
I think it's the welding.
Can we find the stock intake for him?
You have your stock intake?
I do. I can't find the pipe. The pipe that connects from here all the way down.
Can you check for your Facebook Marketplace for help?
It's all before he eats.
So what do you do for work?
I work with a pretty reliable, not really reliable, but a hybrid car company that's pretty well known. They're heavy duty, but the amount of cars I see come in is more than 30 each day.
So I know what brand he works at. They make pretty reliable cars, but not BMW. BMW makes
amazing cars.
amazing unreliable cars. What is the main issue you guys are having?
Electrical, wiring, batteries are a big issue. Batteries really cannot cooperate with our Malaysian heat, plus however Malaysians drive. I don't know how they drive, but it seems like they break down way too much.
Don't buy electric cars. What the f am I doing on Project A's channel? What are you doing today on this fine Saturday?
Coffee. I'm making coffee.
Making coffee? Is this a coffee shop now? Come to Project A, have a
I need to tune myself first before I tune other cars. What am I doing today? Look around you, don't ask stupid questions. Oh, we're having a very interesting day. Look at them. This is a very challenging thing, actually. An early 997 3.8 liter. So they come with 355 horsepower stock. And the gentleman has done a lot of modifications. They have to be made run properly. So he just said that when he was on the way here, it's pre-tuned by another brand. And on the way here, the engine spontaneously decided to die off. It's definitely not the way it should be running. So the problem is that this ECU, the file is not available via OBD. It means we have to bench it. And the ECU is very annoying to get to. So that's what they have to fight with. Then we have a C43 over there that had 2 parts installed, including an intake elsewhere. And that's what I love the most, because we don't know what kind of work they did. Fact is, it didn't have any boost, didn't run properly, but it did before the installation. So we had to kind of trace back what the installer did, figure it out that there was something wrong with the airflow sensors. Now the car is making its power, now the owner can have it back. Then we have the M4 here. I think they're doing some coding stuff. Then we have a 118i. Is it a 118? Yeah, it's a 118. Intake. Very interesting, yeah. Self-made, homemade Mr. DIY kind of intake, which I absolutely hate, but we've been trying to tell him how to do it. Now he's done a heat shield. But then on top of that, I saw that he has a larger MAF housing. You know what that means?
I have no idea.
Which one's bigger?
Mine. Yeah.
Okay, you'll see here. MAF sensor is a sensor that's calibrated to the airflow, right? But it sticks in like this. So now it is calibrated the way whatever goes through to the sensor, the airflow is always the same because it's calibrated to the diameter of the housing. Now use the same sensor with the same calibration in a diameter of this. So basically all the air that passes is completely wrong. It's measured completely wrong because there's a lot more air passing the sensor. So the sensor gets a reading in a voltage, and the voltage remains the same but the air mass isn't. So something's completely off, the engine will run like and yet again, I have to actually ask him to please go back to stock, but he just wouldn't listen. This exact file, these exact settings run at 1.7 bar perfectly fine last month. I'm fine, I'll make another one, Yeah, the 428i over there, stage 2. I applied a file that I just made last month that ran perfectly fine on a 328i, stage 2. It made 1.7 bar, everything clean, everything good. Same settings on the 428i, boom, 2 bar, throttle closure, lambda 1, like what the hell? Okay, so what is the issue? Why is lambda staying at 1? That shouldn't be. So, are we having a sensor issue? Are we having a load issue? Is there something stuck? Why is it overboosting? So I made a new file to see if it makes a change. If it doesn't, then I have to actually tell him to look at the hardware. So basically what he should have created is a compartment, like a box here, that is closed and closed, so there's a volume. Because what cars benefit from is when you travel at speed, the air is forced into it, called ram air. It's rammed into this volume, and then basically because air is compressible, so you actually force it into the feeding it, right? So forcing it in. And that can actually gain you power.
Something to take the air from here and feed it into this box.
That is right, sir. That is right. Very well explained. Slow claps for you. That is one thing. The next thing is the volume of this here, the diameter.
Okay.
And I explained it to him earlier. This, when you put your hand here, you know, fucking hot. Oh my God, it's fucking hot. It's shielded, it takes in from here, above the radiator, above everything. So the air is as cold as possible. That's basically what you want to create.
We are doing a log run for this beautiful C43. This is the second version of the file we've made. So previously this owner came in with a stage 1. After changing his downdrives, he decided, hey, why not I go stage 2? We told him that stage 2 we can actually give him a bit more boost, and more boost means more power. So right now Michael has already made the stage 2 file, and we're testing out what gains do we have compared to the stage 1. After this log, we would compare our stage 1 and stage 2 and see what type of difference we've actually made. Doing currently a peak boost of 1.3, then it slowly tapers down to 1.1 in the ending. There's the man himself. 1.3 bar.
Well, it looks good.
Looks good.
Okay, I think this is okay.
This is good.
Yeah. He needs to change the plugs though.
True.